I'm Georgia Lieneman and this is Coast Community News Friday 5 at 5. Well, it's been a tough week for the Central Coast Police this week. On Monday, a member of the Bandidos outlaw motorcycle gang was charged over the alleged road rage assault of a Central Coast resident on the M1. Police attached to Strike Force Raptor arrested the Bandidos member at a home in Morisset following an extensive investigation. Separately, a Central Coast man was shot dead by police in his Erina home last Friday. 45-year-old Jason Pearce was reported to have attempted to set his neighbour's house alight before setting his own home on fire and then threatening police officers with an axe. The police reportedly fired 3 shots at Pearce, who died at the scene.
In terms of the use of force, on this occasion being lethal force and the use of a police firearm, it would appear that the attending police had no other opportunity other than take the action that they did. Mindful that this will be investigated thoroughly by homicide and oversighted, as I said, by the Law Enforcement Conduct Commission. The 2 officers were very senior highway patrol officers. The officer who actually discharged his firearm was a sergeant, and he was at the time in the company of an experienced senior constable.
Central Coast Council has confirmed a clean-up of the southern end of Avoca Beach is underway after beachgoers discovered hundreds of small rocks on the beach. Complaints began rolling in when the nippers season started, with the rocks making for an uncomfortable experience and potential safety risk. The clean-up is expected to be completed by the weekend. The rocks are the result of recently completed foreshore upgrade works. David Abraham spoke to a few locals about the upgrade.
It's great. I think it's fantastic. It's given us a little bit more room, and I think it's great for the just for the ambience of the place. It looks fantastic.
Look, I thought the rock steps would have gone the whole way along. I'm a bit surprised that there's some big lumpy rocks there. A little bit disappointed, but yeah, that's what I think.
The Australian Workers' Union has begun a campaign against the New South Wales Government's plan to privatise New South Wales state forest, including timberlands at Ourimbah, Wyong and Strickland. The state government is currently gauging interest from prospective buyers after similar sales of government-owned forests in other states. We spoke with Paul Nowak from the New South Wales branch of the AWU.
The Liberal Party have told us when we've put it to them that they intend to privatise Forest Corp New South Wales. They have a scoping exercise underway at the moment, and they have made it quite clear, and we've put out a social media video of the Deputy Premier, made it quite clear that they intend to privatise Forest Corp, which we think will be an absolute disaster for regional New South Wales.
So Forest Corp, for our listeners and viewers, is a state government entity that manages a whole series of state government forests around New South Wales. I notice it has a hardwood and softwood division. Does it return capital to the New South Wales government as it stands?
Yes, it does. It's quite profitable, actually. It returns around $100 million a year. It's a good earner for the state. It's a good earner for revenue, so it's a good earner for the taxpayer. So, again, it would be really quite stupid for any government to privatise something that's earning so much money for the New South Wales community. State forests are unique because it's free. People can come on and have a barbecue. They can come there and do some hiking, and it's all free. So this is a resource that country people utilise in so many different ways. A lot of clubs utilise our state forests, four-wheel drive clubs, hunting clubs, fishing clubs. So it's actually a really important base for people for recreational use, and without that, it would be a real disadvantage. Once more, a kick in the head for our regional community, which goes against everything that this government stands for, looking after regional communities. This would be a huge setback.
A government local member on the Central Coast, MP Adam Crouch, who has given us a statement to say that it says, quote, that no decisions will be made before the outcomes of the process are known, and further the quote, the interests of all relevant stakeholders are carefully considered.
Well, clearly he's ducking for cover because his government intends to privatise forestry. He's not owning up to it. He's correct though, they are doing a scoping exercise right now, but their intention after that scoping exercise is to draft legislation and then put legislation before the state parliament to privatise the state forest. That's the whole intention of the scoping exercise. If they didn't want to do that, why are they doing the scoping exercise? It's just rubbish. And he should be standing up and being honest about what the intentions of this government is.
Member for Terrigal Adam Crouch has announced that dredging of Ettalong Channel has been completed. The dredging works have been ongoing for the past 6 months, and according to Mr Crouch, around 22,000 cubic metres of sand have been removed to maintain safe boat access. Around 10,000 cubic metres of the dredged sand has been deposited on Ocean Beach to counter coastal erosion. Long jetty-based global sustainability group Take 3 for the Sea has been recognised with a slew of international awards. The group received the Inspiring Change Award at the 2019 World Whale Conference, followed by a Coast Care Award at the 2019 New South Wales Land Care Awards. Take 3 were also named finalists for the prestigious Green Globe's Lifetime Achievement Award, the New South Wales Government's premier environmental award, with the winner to be announced in late November. Take 3 for the Sea was founded by Roberta Dixon-Volk, Amanda Maricol and Tim Silverwood. Well, after 2 weeks of VAR blues, the Central Coast Mariners broke through for a courageous 2-1 victory on the road against reigning premiers Perth Glory. The Mariners took an early lead with a strike against Danny De Silva, but Glory found the net with an equaliser late in the first half. Young star Sammy Silvera then showed a flash of individual brilliance in his first game for the Mariners to depossess a Glory defender and slot the winning goal on the stroke of half-time.
On the back foot as they tee it up. Jurich loves to strike from long range, almost there, and on the follow. It should have been buried, but Reddy is able to scramble and collect. Clisby wanted the 1-2, fell in a little short, and all was able to recover it. Clisby with the cross in, teed up again. De Silva punishes it into the bottom corner, and the Central Coast Mariners have been threatening, and they break through in the early stages. Perth trying to find a way. Fornaroli, good combination with Castro again. By Gordon, lays it back. One day, excellent save, Birighitti on the follow. Franic, and the Glory equalise. Ivan Franic. Here's Trapp, just on his heels and stolen away by Silvera. He has been electric, and what a finish for Sam Silvera for his first goal in the A-League. It is an absolute beauty.
He just hit it like a Scud missile.
And Fox Sports will have all the action in tonight's away clash with Melbourne City, which kicks off in a couple of hours' time. Central Coast born and raised Jeff Corrigan is the co-owner of this year's Melbourne Cup winner, Vow and Declare. Vow and Declare was one of the few Australian bred and trained horses in the prestigious race, which has been dominated in recent times by international stayers.
Declare on the inside, then Prince of Aaron, Raymond, Tusk, Finch. It's Master of Reality. Vow and Declare up on the inside. Vow and Declare, Prince of Aaron is lifting late with El Paradiso. Master of Reality just in front. Vow and Declare kicks. Vow and Declare's won it for Australia. They're on top of the world.
After the race, Corrigan announced that he would donate $50,000 of his winnings to Dementia Australia in honour of the late Entrance MP Grant McBride. A Wyong High School alumni, Corrigan said the jockey's colours orange and white were also in honour of his old mate. And we close this week with an interview with one of the coast's oldest residents. Nella Hickey, who lives in Erina, turned 105 this week, and we are told she still enjoys crosswords, a glass of wine with dinner, and telling her son Michael to tuck his shirt in. As part of the celebration, she received a surprise visit from local MP Adam Crouch and later shared a few memories with us here at CCN.
I have 7 grandchildren and 11 great-grandchildren.
Oh, that is remarkable. More than a cricket team, I understand.
Yes, I must have won that match.
What was it like to be in Australia when the Don was at his peak?
Oh, it was very exciting. Yeah. And, you wouldn't have missed a match for anything.
Nella, of course, the question many people will want to know, and that is, what do you think is the secret to a long life?
Just keep living.
Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week for Friday's 5 at 5.